27, Friday, December 18th, my friends, and we are just 18 days away from the election in Georgia for the 2 Senate seats. And these are the most important Senate elections of our lives. That's not hyperbolic. It's not over the top. That's the truth. Because without the Democrats winning those 2 seats, Joe Biden and the Democratic administration will have little ability to get anything done that's significant. Maybe an infrastructure bill. That's about it. Nothing about moving the country forward. Just going back to the status quo. And that was not good enough for us. And the GOP is also aware of how important this is. So on one hand, they're in the courts trying to make it harder to vote because the GOP does not believe in democracy. The GOP, repeat after me, is the party of fascism. That's right. The GOP is the party of fascism. And now we've got the 2 Republican candidates, Kelly Loeffler and David Perdue, showing us in recent times that they're going full Trumpian, which means they're going full white supremacy and bigotry. They're not trying to hide it because the stakes are that high. They can't lose. You got John Ossoff and Reverend Warnock, the Democrats running a great campaign. Every poll shows it's neck and neck. So they need every racist and every bigot to join to support the Republican candidates because without it, they can't win. And what is Kelly Loeffler doing? And by the way, the insider trading of David Perdue and Kelly Loeffler's got a great deal of media coverage. But what hasn't is really the history of white supremacy and bigotry by these 2. I think it's fundamentally important to hear it. Some was right before the November election and some is now. In fact, something that got a little press was Kelly Loeffler, the Republican senator, with a picture with Chester Doles, a former Ku Klux Klan leader who's well known in Georgia, by the way. It's not like he's unknown. He's a former Klan leader. He is the member of the Neo-Nazi National Alliance. This is a guy who attended the 2017 Unite the Right racist rally and also went to jail in the late 1990s for beating a black man almost to death. This guy is beloved in white supremacist circles. So why was he at an event? And this is the second time. Now, when they got called out this week, the Loeffler campaign said, oh, we don't stand for any bigotry. And we didn't know he was there. Oh, this is the second picture with him. Reality is Kelly Loeffler's been palling around with bigots now for the last couple of months leading into the November election and continuing. There's another picture with her that the Huffington Post documented showing her with Joshua Mote, M-O-T-E. He's the Lumpkin County, Georgia coordinator of the American Patriots USA, a Georgia extremist group run by, who else? Chester Doles, the Klan leader who she met with and has a picture with. In August, during the normal general election, she sat down with OAN's Jack Posobiec. Jack Posobiec is a piece of garbage. He is a long history of palling around with the white supremacists, with Richard Spencer, one of the organizers of the Unite the Right rally. This is a man who has also tweeted out and been denounced by Jewish groups for anti-Semitic memes. He's tweeted out the numbers 14 and 88 over and over, which that might not mean anything to you, but to the world of white supremacy, that's code. 14, that stands for the 14 words in the white supremacist manifesto about securing the future of the white race in this country. 88, 8 is the letter H in the alphabet. White supremacists and neo-Nazis use 88 as 88HH for Heil Hitler. That's what this guy's about. She gleefully sat down with him, and he's worked at Trump's favorite new media outlet, OAN. And when people called her out for meeting with him, she didn't denounce him. She goes, they're trying to cancel me on the left. This is who she is, Kelly Loeffler. This is Trump. They're all the same. And it goes on from there. She has pictures with the Georgia 3% Martyrs Militia, which is a far right group that has confronted with weapons Black Lives Matter activists. And she's numerous times with Marjorie Taylor Greene, the Congresswoman-elect from Georgia, who is a QAnon person, which is insane, but she's also a well-known bigot, anti-Semite, anti-Muslim bigot. I'll share some of the things with you. She knew that. She's still palling around with her, toting the endorsement of Marjorie Taylor Greene. Marjorie Taylor Greene has said that the Muslim women who were elected to Congress, Rashida Tlaib and Ilhan Omar, were part of, quote, an Islamic invasion of the U.S. government. She's also said black voters are slaves to the Democratic Party, her choice of words, slaves. When you're white conservative in Georgia, you're using the term slaves for black people, we know what you're saying. You're telling white supremacists we're on your same side. She's also said George Soros, who is Jewish, she said that he's a Nazi himself and trying to continue what the Nazis started, which is just stunning. She also said, guess what? Slavery is over. Black people have equal rights, when denying the fact that there's inequality in our system in America, meaning she's full white supremacist, Marjorie Taylor Greene. And by the way, today she tweeted, Marjorie Taylor Greene, that she's going to object to the electoral college votes considered by Congress on January 6th because there's been rampant fraud in Georgia. Well, what she's saying is that she was elected in Georgia by rampant fraud. She should not be allowed to be sat as a member of Congress until she can prove affirmatively there is not fraud in her election, because she is saying there's fraud. This is not a situation where you're alleging, like, she is part of it. She's going, there was fraud in my state. That's what elected her. She should not be sat as a member of Congress. In any event, this is Kelly Loeffler's buddy. Then you got David Perdue. David Perdue, during the election, a few weeks before November, you might all recall, he mocked Senator Kamala Harris's name, who's now vice president-elect, Kamala mocking her first name, making it sound like some kind of African type of sound. At the time, Democratic Chair Nikema Williams said Senator Perdue's intentionally disrespected mispronunciation of Senator Harris's name is a bigoted and racist tactic straight from President Trump's handbook. David Perdue also, against John Ossoff, who's Jewish, ran an openly anti-Semitic ad, which looks like and sounds like something from 1930s pre-World War II Germany. It was a picture of John Ossoff where they literally made John Ossoff's nose bigger. He made Ossoff's nose bigger in this ad, and then, as the Forward, a Jewish publication, pointed out, in this ad it said, Democrats are trying to buy Georgia, and it's a picture of Ossoff and Chuck Schumer, who are both Jewish. This is vile anti-Semitism. This is despicable garbage. But this is who the GOP is. The GOP is a party of white supremacy, anti-Muslim bigotry, and when it serves them, anti-Semitic bullshit as well. It's vile. So the stakes are not just about policy. The stakes are about the soul of this country. The stakes are, in Georgia, do you want people who embrace white supremacy, who embrace anti-Semitism, anti-Muslim bigotry, to be representing you in the state? We have to do everything we can to defeat these two vile people. Not only are they corrupt with their insider trading, profiting off inside information that they got as senators as the COVID pandemic was exploding, but they're embracing white supremacy. They're just furthering the worst stereotypes. They're vile and despicable. We'll talk about them more on my show today, and hope the media talks more on a national level about these two, about David Perdue and Kelly Loeffler, because all the insider trading stuff got press, but look at who they are. They should not be in the U.S. Senate. They should be at a Klan rally or hanging out with Donald Trump, which is kind of one and the same at this point. My show's live 6 to 9 p.m., channel 127 and Sirius XM. As I say every night, if you don't subscribe, come over to the website, do a free trial. Cost you nothing. Then join the show. Be a part of it. Join our conversation every night. Thanks for tuning to the preview of tonight's Dino Budala Show.